It is the long walk out to Tommy's. For even the keenest pheasant shots in the country, high birds are daunting, and you will struggle to find consistently higher birds than this drive on this shoot.
Charlie, today we're at Brigands, the famous mighty Brigands with Bettis Hall. We start on my favourite drive, which is Tommy's, which is pretty much the best drive in the country with Grise Mountain at Lake Whittigar. I am very excited to be shooting it.
Ross Neville has taken a gun on Brigands today, and he and his loader and instructor and friend Hugo Hurd are the kids in the sweet shop as the drive starts. However, these first challenging birds are causing Ross problems. He is shooting them, but not as many as he would like.
You don't want any of this on film, Charlie.
You just got to get into the groove, haven't you?
Yeah, and it's very rare for me to be out of the groove. And I'm trying all sorts of things and it bloody working. Hey-ho, we'll rock and roll. Good shot. I'm trying to head much further on the stock because it feels like it's coming off. I'm going more lead, less lead, just seeing what's happened, and funny enough, it was gun speed on that last bird that knocked it down. So it might be just one of those little things of just gun speed, and the margin of error on these birds is so minute.
This morning we've come here, Ross on form, feeling good, thinking it's going to be the same. It wasn't the same.
Over, Ross, over!
Those birds were 85 to 120 yards high. Head down, concentrate on the head of the bird.
Coming at us.
Get some gun speed, wake up your left hand, get hold of the gun, concentrate, see a gap and push on and keep finishing the shot off.
Nothing wrong with missing that.
Very important to finish the shot off, not come off after the first shot with head and stop, keep on and keep the gun moving.
By drive 2, the Oaks, Ross is feeling more godlike.
I am back in the game. You do need to be relaxed and enjoy yourself, and just on the last drive I just didn't. I enjoyed it, but guess what? It's not easy, and I just proved it's not.
Some of this is due to the cartridges. At Lake Whittigar a few episodes ago, Ross was suffering from damp fobs. This time, Hugo has gone for a pre-dried brand, meaning there is less unburnt powder left down the barrel.
We've gone on to trying some new cartridge from Fiocchi, Excellence Pheasant, which are nickel coated, lead pellet coated in nickel. Now that says 36 gram on there. We're giving that a go, and it's a 5.5 size shot. We need to be putting all the lead, all the nickel up the front end of the bird.
As well as trying different cartridges, Ross is swapping guns for us today. He normally shoots a pair of Kreekoffs, but he has a soft spot for Mirokus, and we have brought a pair for him to try.
The gun I was using today, MK60s Sport, you know what? Just as I said at Lake Whittigar, probably the best entry-level pair of guns you can buy on the market. They're the right weight, they look the part, 32 inch, and they can hit the big boys. And as long as you've got the right chokes in them. And what was interesting today is we were using, as you know, a Fiocchi cartridge, and just really worked very nicely. So the sort of Miroku Fiocchi combination did a good job. At the price they are, the engraving's lovely. The look and feel of them is great. They're a heavier gun, so they can do the job for these big high birds. And certainly if anyone's wanting to get into these sort of 300 plus days and wants to buy a pair of guns, this is what I would start out with. The only thing I would change on it is is the back of the gun. I would put a Kickies pad on there. And the pair that I first bought 5 years ago, that's exactly what I did to them, and it just softens it up a bit, and then you can put some weighty cartridges through it. I used to use 32, I will use 34, and obviously I'm using 36 this week. But I just think that's more than enough. And there's some great shooters out there using 32 grams, and they'll do the job. You just, as I said the last time, you've got to put it in the head.
Now you see a lot of birds go over on a shoot like this, and you see several of them come down. So what happens to the birds that are shot? First up, they get collected by the pickers up, and it's hard to know if they or their dogs are more enthusiastic.
I mean, I've worked here now for 17 years, and it is hard going, but the dogs just love it.
Then the birds go to the game dealer. Not all of them, however. Between drives, Brigands serves up freshly shot pheasants.
This bird has been shot 5 minutes ago, so you don't get fresher than this.
Fresh pheasant.
There we go, happy days.
The meat goes to the other end of the vehicle where the Brigands chef has set up a barbecue.
I've just floured, and it's got some like Cajun seasoning on some pheasant goujons, and then we're just going to shallow fry them.
How long do you fry them for?
Oh, a couple of minutes.
The man helping Ross with the pheasants there is Richard Crofts, who runs the Brigands shoot for super shoot operator Bettis Hall.
The shooting is just part of the day for us. The hospitality, the making things run as smoothly as possible, but certainly the hospitality, the food, and just sort of topping everybody's drinks up and just going that extra mile just to make it special. We try and give our guests an experience that, is perhaps some of the highest birds in the country, maybe not the highest, but some of the highest. The beautiful thing about the Brigands as well is nothing flies true here, so when they're coming off the tops, they're sliding, they're diving, they're making very, very difficult, challenging shooting. Whereas perhaps in Devon, arguably they'll be as high, if not higher than here, but they do tend to fly a little bit truer, a little bit straighter.
As well as Tommy's, one of the great drives here is Waterfall. Ross loves it for the unpredictability of the birds.
It's doing everything different all the time, so it is really, if you can get on well at Waterfall, you're doing very, very well. Good shot! Good shot!
Very good.
Very nice!
We have shot some of the greatest drives in British driven shooting today. Ross has enjoyed the lows, the highs, and the positively stratospherics of pheasant shooting, and in the company of his father, who has been following the action all day. Now, one tradition we have to complete, and that's to make a joke about butts for Ross's 7-year-old son Winston, who is not here today. Let's see if we can con Grandad.
What do you call that end of the gun?
The butt.
What's it called again?
The butt.
That's for you, Winston.
For more about the Mirokus, visit the Browning website, browning.eu, and to go shooting at Brigands, contact Bettis Hall.